Hello YouTube, it's been a minute. This is just a video update to let you all know what's going on and to talk about something that I was recently thinking about. Um, One, I've been, very busy planning for something which you will hear about soon, or I'll post a video about soon. Yeah, so stay tuned. That's the first thing. I can't really give much details about that. Second thing I want to talk about is I was reading 1 Samuel, and if you've never read it all the way through, I suggest you do. There's a lot of powerful stuff in there. And what I want to talk about is 1 Samuel chapter 8. I just advise you to read it, and that'll help you to understand, where I'm coming from. In a gist, it was talking about the Israelites and how they were asking for a leader. Their request for God was to have a leader, and that's how they ended up with, having a line of kings, starting with Saul. So, yeah, it just really made me think about something. As I was reading it, something just said, yes, we can, in my mind. I just thought of Obama, and I thought about, the black community in general and how it's constantly looking for some big leader to come and save the day. And everyone's like, where are our black leaders? Where, are powerful black figures? And people are saying this all the time. And, everyone wants to compare people to Martin Luther King and stuff. And I just think that people need to stop looking around in the world for someone to step up to the plate and do what you should be doing. Why do we have to wait for someone else's cue? And clearly, no one's going to live up to your expectations, so it's just another way of making an excuse for why things aren't going correctly. And, the only person that we should have leading our lives, first of all, is Christ. Because, he's the only consistent, thing that's ever existed and that ever will exist. Everything else is, fading. Everything else, it's, one day they have your back, the next day it's something else, and there are outside pressures and all these things. And we have to understand that people are just human beings. Even Martin Luther King, when he died, he was not looked at favorably by the black community. They had basically shunned him for the most part because of his opinion on the Vietnam War, which, coming to find out, he was right, but, no one was thinking that when he died, well, until he died, then all of a sudden it was a big uproar. But where were you when he was in his lowest time in his life? And so people just need to stop pointing the blame at everyone else for why your life is going wrong and, why you can't pull yourself out of the trenches. Because there are people who have pulled themselves out of the trenches. So it's a matter of, are you trying? What are you doing to improve your situation? And how are you looking at life? Do you even appreciate what you have? I was watching this video and, never discredit your sources until you really listen to what they're saying. Because I was watching this video and it was Pharrell, and he was speaking to a group of young people, and some of the things he said were very profound. One of the first questions that he got was from a young person asking, what do you say to someone who comes from nothing? How would you encourage them? And he basically said, what is nothing? No one comes from nothing except for God himself. So you can't really, well, he didn't say except for God himself, but he was basically saying that, you can't call what you have nothing. You have something. So change your perspective on how you look at your life. Be grateful for what it is that you have. And don't just write it off and say, I don't have anything. And it's all relative. If you're so busy comparing what you have to what somebody else has, then yes, you're going to think you have nothing. And yes, you're going to think that you don't have a chance in the world. So it's all a matter of your perspective and how you're willing to see things. So I just wanted to share this because I found it very interesting, and I suggest you read 1 Samuel, all of it, but especially chapter 8 for yourself, because I was reading it and it just sounded exactly like Barack Obama, and it was very profound. Because even back then, it's just funny how the Bible it never gets old, and it says that there's nothing new under the sun, so it never gets old. it was just amazing to me as I was reading to see how closely that aligned with what happened with the 2008 election process and all of that. So that's all I have to say. Take care and God bless. Until next time. Goodbye.